the weight room at the Bill Fralick Athletic Center at UHAS McGinley Stadium at Penn Hills High School. This is the Coach's Corner. Along with the head coach of the Penn Hills Indians, Ron Graham, I'm Bill Navari. Ron, an opportunity this week to become conference co-champions if you go into the Wolverine and knock off the Woodland Hills Wolverines. How is the attitude of practice this week?
Excellent days, a high-spirited practice. Kids are ready for this. This is a nice rival game. With the communities, the young guys know each other. So, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a competitive atmosphere.
Looking at the Indians now and looking at the Indians several weeks ago, it's night and day. I've talked with people about the team. It seems like early in the season there were a lot of I's or me's on the team. Now the team coming together with a lot of we's, a lot of kids coming together, forming that bond, that teamwork that it takes to go out and win games. And we've seen that the last couple of weeks. Is that something that you've kind of felt as well?
Yes, it's noticeable. The thing that, looking at early on, there were just so many, as high school things go, just, the kids are getting themselves grounded. And it became a challenge for us, but the young guys are responding, and you're right, there's a strong feeling of a unity now. It's not that they weren't united in the beginning, but there was just something about the chemistry, and it just right now is a strong, cohesive group.
Early in the year, the struggles offensively, it was, where's the Penn Hills running game? Penn Hills is always known for the running game. And admittedly, the struggles were there early, but then you throw Chris Washington in the back. You get Hester in the back. You get Myles in the backfield. You start working, tweaking some things, and now the Penn Hills running game seems to be going on all and Key, but the big game. We're going to get to Key. The Indians running game going on all cylinders. Last week, Chris Washington doesn't get the 100 yards, but he gets 4 touchdowns. He's gone from being the Wiz to being Bundy now. But Key Paschal, over 100 yards last week. A bit of unexpected pleasure there, seeing him come up with a big game like that. But he can do it. But right. Miles Davis, a 54-yard run early. Now, any team who wants to come up and try to defense you, they can't key on one guy.
Well, we're hoping that's the case. These young guys, when they had their opportunities as Key, and Key was out with a knee injury for a while and came back, and he's a very capable back, and just trying to give him opportunities to show what he can do. And it keeps, we're trying to keep ourselves balanced.
With the running game coming on as it is, how is that going to, you think, is going to help the passing game?
Well, that's one thing. We're hoping it takes the pressure off of throwing the ball and putting ourselves in those long situations in third down, that we can balance ourselves and have a shorter third down situation where we can go play action possibly with Chaz and give him a little more breathing room. He's been coming along and he's worked, and he's been in a bad situation several times and in field position, and he's doing what he can do. And he's a young guy, and we're still believing that he can pull this thing through for us.
Early on, with the struggles of the running game and teams knowing that the Indians were having to pass the ball, sometimes they were sending 9 guys in going after Chaz. Now with the running game as it is, and you can accentuate it with the pass or use the pass to set up the run, are you finding that defenses now have to be more balanced in trying to defend you and maybe not send as many guys up front as they had earlier?
Well, I would hope so, but I think that I do know that Woodland Hills will be coming full force. They're going to be running their gap integrity and bringing guys through their run blitzes, and they're still going to attack us. I believe they're going to play us man-to-man single coverage and try to rattle us and maul the line of scrimmage.
Speaking of the Wolverines, undefeated this year, having a great season down there in Turtle Creek. Great to see George Novak back on top again, at least up to this point anyway.
Yes.
But every year, the Indians and the Wolverines, always a big game. But the rivalry between Penn Hills and Woodland Hills isn't one necessarily of dislike, but it is one of mutual respect, that after these games, regardless of who wins or loses, the kids are out there on the field shaking each other's hands, smiling, saying, we'll see you at the mall.
That's right.
There is no bad blood between these two teams.
No, absolutely. It's healthy competition. Coach Novak is a high-quality coach, and has always been one that I look up to, as how he's been managing those young men and doing things what he's doing. And he's been good for high school football in this area. He's a great coach, and he maintains an excellent program. And those kids follow through what he asks them to do, and they have a lot of quality kids there.
Every year, Woodland Hills is blessed with a plethora of skilled kids. Kids with speed, kids who can throw the ball, run to catch the ball. This year, they have line to go with it. A lot of folks say that
Yes.
Penn Hills is good, but they haven't seen anybody like Woodland Hills line. You want to talk about the Woodland Hills as far as down in the trenches, and what are you going to try to do to go up against them?
They historically they've actually had a large line, and they're huge this year. They run what they run to perfection. They execute. They have excellent running backs. You said skilled guys, and their line. They've been doing the job this year, and we just have to try to slow down the counters, and those guys pulling, and they're huge, and they want to wall us off. So we got to be mindful to make sure that we're attacking. They have an excellent offense.
We talked earlier before we got on camera about the playoff possibilities here. What's going on? We're not really going to get into them because it's really convoluted. But needless to say, a win Friday, you are conference co-champs, and then we go down through the tiebreakers. As far as it may, you fall where you may. A loss, you automatically finish third, so you definitely are in the playoffs. But the kids are up for this game. I haven't seen them up for a game like this in a long time. 3 senior leaders you brought with you tonight. These kids are out. They want to play now. They're ready to go.
That's right.
I mean, they're itching, just to get in there and get playing. So that's got to be great for you to see. And let's talk about our seniors for the week.
Well, yeah, it's really nice to see upbeat how things have changed around with the attitude. These young guys have been pressing through what's been taking place in the season, and they're looking forward to finishing pretty strong. We have Taylor Adams, who's a linebacker, and he's been an excellent force on defense for us and continues to rotate on the offensive line. We have Aaron Donald, and Aaron Donald as well has been just a pillar on the defensive line and continues to play excellent defense. He rotates in the guard. And then we have Myles Davis, who Myles has went from defensive end to linebacker and has shown some excellent ability at linebacker with his transition, has been coming through with some great stops. And however, as you pointed out earlier, he's shown that he got a little bit of running ability. So these guys are, they are helping us pull this through, and senior leadership, that's what it's about, and these guys are showing it.
I know you put Myles back there last week to block. You give him the ball, he goes.
Yes.
Doesn't carry the ball again. Is there any particular reason why? Or is it just because everybody else was running well?
Well, it was just the luck of the draw. You try, you run what you think you can run. The offensive guys put in a nice game plan, and we wanted to utilize a lot of backs and see what we can get out of them.
So you're saving them for this week, which is.
Well, you know what? Yeah, there's a strong possibility that we're saving him. He might get 20 carries. You never know.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow night. Best of luck to you. Hopefully next week we're talking about the conference champion Penn Hills Indians. It'll be a great story to tell, and we look forward to hopefully telling it next week. Coming up next, our seniors of the week as the Coach's Corner continues here on Comcast.
Aaron Donald, number 59, defensive tackle, Penn Hills football, Big Dogs.
Taylor Adams, number 56, linebacker, Penn Hills Indians.
Myles Davis, number 6, linebacker, Penn Hills Indians.
Our seniors of the week, Aaron Donald, Taylor Adams, and Myles Davis of the 2009 Penn Hills Indians. Aaron, let's start with you. What's your number?
59.
Just making sure you were aware of that. The question I have, there are a lot of comment, folks who don't see you. They just see you on the field, and they look at you, and it's inarguable. You play with some intensity. You enjoy playing the game. You play with fire. The thing that I always have to say is that you see him out on the field, and then you see this baby face. I mean, off the field, you look like his teddy bear. On the field, you're this animal. I mean, how do you find the common ground in between? I know, people come up and they squeeze your cheeks all the time. I mean, how do you deal with that?
Just ladies, man. Ladies can do it, but men can't. So.
Okay. We were starting off having some fun here. But Woodland Hills this week, you've been waiting for this one all year, an opportunity to become conference co-champions. Actually, in the tiebreakers, you do have an opportunity to finish first. How you guys looking this week? I mean, as far as the attitude of the team, you guys are ready to go out tomorrow night?
Yeah, we were ready. Offense was doing good, but at practice, defense was physical. We pumped up, ready. Woodland Hill's been talking, so I'm ready.
One thing that maybe earlier in the season or in the last couple of years, one of the things that when you look at your positives, and there are many, one of the negatives was that perhaps sometimes you lost your cool a little bit on field. You would do things that perhaps you shouldn't have or thought better of. But as the years progressed, I've been seeing a new Aaron Donald, so to speak, one who's walking away from people coming up and hitting you, trying to get that retaliation, trying to egg you onto things. I've seen you go in where you've taken teammates away from those same opportunities. Is that something that's just seen Aaron growing up, or something that the coaches have worked on you with? Maybe your dad grabbing you by the ears, telling you what to do. But I mean, what has the difference been that you've gone from that high intensity to that controlled intensity?
That's just me being a team captain and being a leader. I got to keep my team together. And if they see me acting up, they're going to want to act up. But they see me doing the things, doing the right thing, they're going to want to do the right thing. So that's just me being a team leader.
So you kind of have the attitude that attitude reflects leadership. The team follows the leader, so to speak. So you want to be that leader. Taylor, let's move on to you over there. Ask him, we see your jersey over there. What number are you going to be this week?
I'm just trying to wear my number 56. I've been with 56 for 2 years. They just wanted me to wear 19 because they was supposed to play fullback, but I felt I wasn't ready to run the ball. So I let Myles handle the ball. And this week I just want to wear my 56.
But will they have number 19 on the sideline just in case, so you have to throw you in the backfield? Are you saying, keep it here, Coach, keep it back?
I hope so, because I don't want to be called. I want to wear 56, but if I have to wear number 19, I want to be called Taylor Adams, not whoever 19 used to belong to.
Well, I try to get those guys up there in the box and let them know who you are after a while.
Yeah, I was watching. I heard.
But clearly, you like to play defense. Yeah. You'll go out there and play offense if you have to, but clearly, you like that defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I do like to play defense. I used to play offense, but defense is more fast-paced, and I like it. It's way better to me.
What are your thoughts going into Woodland Hills tomorrow?
I think we just need to play a hard ball, go out there, dominate on defense, and see what we could do with offense.
The team's turned its way around a little bit from the early in the season with its struggles. The team's been playing very well the last couple of weeks. What do you think is the biggest difference between early on and now?
I think it's teamwork. We've been working together very well. Everybody's coming together. Like Aaron said, he's being more of a leader. He's keeping us cool, and everybody's looking at him, and they want to follow that. And so we're working together.
Let's go with Myles down there on the end. I know you've been waiting patiently for us to get down to your way. But talking about the leadership on this team, you've been there as well. You've been quietly doing your things that you're supposed to do. As you know, Aaron and Taylor, they may be getting more of the headlines. You just kind of quietly go about your business doing what you're supposed to do. Is that the kind of person Miles Davis is, that kind of, talk softly but carry that big stick kind of guy?
Yeah. I mean, that's been the same concept since I started playing football. I always let my past talk louder than my mouth does, because, I mean, you can't talk it and not walk it.
What's your number?
Number 6.
What's your favorite color?
Orange.
Hey, you want to tell everybody why your favorite color is orange?
Committed to Syracuse University. Play football for the next 4 years.
Now, any particular reason why Syracuse? If somebody come up and offered me a 4-year education, I mean, I certainly would jump at it too. But is Syracuse that kind of fit that you've been looking for?
Definitely. The coaches really relate to my style of play, and they do a lot of schemes with the defense that relate to how I play the football.
Seeing what you've done in the last couple weeks, with coaches that all talk to you about moving you from defense into that running back position. I mean, it's hard to pass up a running back who has a yard per carry average of 54.
My coach joked with me about it on the phone on Tuesday, talking about the running backs recruiting coordinator wanted to talk to me about playing some running back, but it was just a joke. I'm still defense.
Would you like to get a chance to run the ball again this week?
Oh, yes, sir, definitely.
Can you do another 54 yards again?
For sure.
Whenever you leave here at the end of the season, what are you going to miss most about being in this locker room?
Definitely just the whole team concept of everybody knowing each other. You see everybody in school every day. You get to talk about what you did at practice and then go down, practice again, probably do it again. Just the whole team concept of the whole football team.
Who has the smelliest feet?
Aaron Donald.
When you get up to Syracuse, you're going to be trying to check the internet and things like that, looking back to see what these Indians are doing in the future.
Definitely. I'm trying to come back as many times as I can and see what the guys are up to.
Certainly, we look forward to it. What do you plan to study when you get up there?
Communications. I'm going to major in communications.
And you want to be an ESPN guy or something like that?
Something like that. We're going to see what comes along as I go through there.
Well, the way I saw you guys all primping and combing your hair and everything before you came out here, I think you're ready for it. Best of luck to you,
Thank you,
and
sir.
don't be a stranger. Always be part of the Penn Hills family. Taylor, what are your plans for when you leave Penn Hills High School, and what do you think you're going to miss most about being here?
My plans for when I leave Penn Hills is I'm going to try to go to Cal U. I don't know if I'm going to play football. I still got to make the choice, but I want to try to get into computer technology. And the most I'm going to miss about the school about Penn Hills is my teammates. I love being around them. Been together for a long time. I'm going to miss them a lot.
Have you talked to them at all about playing football down at Cal U? I mean, the way you've been playing, I would be surprised if somebody doesn't offer you something to come play football for them.
I mean, I talked to a lot of coaches, not specifically Cal U, but they all say I'm underweight. But I think I'll still be a good player. I'm going to try it out, see what it's like.
It's nothing a weight room can't fix. You know?
Yeah, that's
easy,
what I'm
Coach.
saying.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get in the weight room a lot. I'll still be down here during the off season, getting bigger for college, and we'll see what happens.
A few more weeks of Penn Hills football left.
We're going all the way. We got a long time.
Team believes now.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, best of luck to you, not
Thank
only
you.
the rest of the season, but also what you do once you leave Penn Hills. And again, always stay part of the Penn Hills family. Aaron, obviously we know that there's no football in your future. You're just going to be working at the car wash now. Clear, I know that you guys will say you're going to be going all the way this year, and I know you guys have that desire, and you guys believe that you guys can do it. Is this you guys are pumped now that the way that you've turned things around, thinking that you can get to Hershey?
Yeah, we've been blowing teams out. We got Chris at running back now that's moving the ball, and Myles in the middle, and Taylor on the outside containing stuff. And me and on the D line controlling the line. We gonna be good. So we going to Hershey.
Looking at reality here, as far as the next several weeks, months, that you're looking at maybe 6 to 8 weeks. If you guys do go all the way to Hershey, that your days here at Penn Hills High School, as far as playing football, are over. Have you thought about that at all? And I mean, you getting any kind of any melancholy about it, thinking this is 4 years and come and gone and faster than you've known it.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I remember just coming up here being a sophomore. The time flies, man. It did go fast, but that's why we gotta just keep going, keep this going longer, and try and go away with a ring.
What are your plans for after graduation, and what do you think you're going to be doing next year at this time?
Probably at down pit, getting ready, trying to get my starting position on that D-line.
You think you're going to fit right in there with Dan Mason? Has you talked to him at all as far as anything you need to prepare for going down to play for the Panthers next year?
I didn't really get to talk to him because we both been busy, but I pretty much already know what to expect because I've been going down there watching. So I just go down there with the attitude I got, play hard how I've been playing, and hopefully everything will work out.
They say where they're going to stick you?
D-tackle. He don't want to move me off that D-tackle, he told me.
No, when you talk to you're chatting with Myles in the locker room at all, you guys are both going to Division I schools next year. Also Buck as well. Brandon and so many other guys. Is it you guys looking at each other thinking, next year you guys might be lining up on the opposite sides of the balls, being on the opposite sidelines, and what a weird feeling that's going to be?
Me and Myles always be talking about that. He keeps saying seriously going to be picked, but I doubt that. We always talk about that. Big dogs.
Now, do you know where the game is next year?
Huh?
Are you going to Pitt Syracuse play next year? I mean, is it up there or down here?
I think it's out Syracuse because Syracuse come down Pitt this year, so it's probably up Syracuse.
Well, one of these years, somebody's got to be sending some tickets in this rivalry to their favorite TV guy. With going to Pitt and everything else, what do you look back that you think that you're going to miss most about being at Penn Hills?
The whole Penn Hills program, just the whole everything, just miss it all.
Now, Myles says you have the smelliest feet. You just throw anything against Myles or Taylor before we cut sign off here?
You got ashy hands.
Yeah?
Both of y'all there.
So,
got his gloves on. See the gloves.
see, obviously, you guys aren't it's a real band of brothers here in this locker room, isn't it?
Yeah.
They all rough.
Oh gosh, you know what? I could say when I talk to you guys about what you guys are going to miss here, I can honestly say that for the years I've been doing this, when you guys go, that I miss all of you guys when you guys leave. And that, I thank you guys for the opportunity that I've had to be able to watch you, watch you guys grow up. How proud I am of each and every single one of you, all of you seniors. Myles, Taylor, all of you guys, Aaron, what a pleasure it was to watch you come out of Archie's shadow, become your own player. And it's just something that, I've enjoyed, and I thank you guys for. And I certainly wish you guys all not only the best of luck tomorrow and the rest of the season, but also what you guys do once you leave here. And again, as I always say it, but I mean it, always stay part of the Penn Hills family. Best of luck, guys. Coming up next, it's the Big East Conference Championship game. Believe it or not, the Penn Hills Indians are in it. And they're taking on the Woodland Hills Wolverines, and it's coming your way next here on Comcast. Corey Jones and Brandon Eiffel are back for the Indians. Nice shot of the up man. Most of the players tonight with the pink tape. Pink towels, pink wristbands in honor of their moms, sisters, aunts, grandmas for breast cancer recognition. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the month of October. And the players showing the pride for the ladies in their lives by donning the pink, the color for breast cancer awareness. Kicking off for the Woodland Hills Wolverines, Sam Scheifo. And we are about to get underway, and we are underway here at the Wolverina. Corey Jones from his 1 yard line, looking for some place to go, has a little bit of a lane, gets away from one man inside the 20, dives himself across to the 22, and the Indians will get started there. The Indians' running attack coming alive of late. Bundy, as we like to call him. Chris Washington, 4 touchdowns last week, 170 yards at Kiski, had about 85 yards last week. Key Paschal, the big night last week, running the football for the Indians, over 100 yards. And also Miles Davis got things started off for the night with a 54-yard carry. And Miles 3 positions tonight with a win. Washington hit in the backfield, will lose maybe a yard on the play. And the Indians will be looking at a 3rd down and 11, and now we'll probably see Chaz Whitaker throw for the first time tonight. Love that play call to Chris Washington. Credit Woodland Hills defense. They stayed with Brandon Eiffel, who was streaking downfield. Eiffel splits to the near side. So Christian and Jones to the right. Jones will come this way with the I formation behind Whitaker. Whitaker will roll to his right, looking downfield, passes, and it's almost picked off. Was heading towards Cullen Christian in the double coverage, short through him, and the pass was almost intercepted. Good thing it came up short as Mike Caprera was there. And the Indians are going to have to punt. Yeah. Keith Banks joining us in the booth again tonight.
Good evening.
Not a lot of stats to speak of so far here on the Indians' drive. Mike Fracco will drop back to punt. The Indians minus 1 yard. Fracco gets the kick away high, very short. And it's going to bounce. The Wolverines should pick it up and return it right there, but they'll sit there and watch it. Oh my, standing there looking at with a lot of room to run was Sade Jenkins. And the short kick gives the Woodland Hills Wolverines the ball at the 30-yard line. Not the way the Indians wanted to get things started off here tonight. But again, Sade Jenkins had the ball sitting there on the 30-yard line. Nobody around him. He could actually picked it up and returned it a bit. I got your Coke there, Keith. You can wet the whistle.
Get some caffeine in me, I'll be a little more energetic. I'll take a little bit of a false start.
Wolverines keep it on the ground. That's Dom Timbers. Timbers will lose a yard. Look like Aaron Donald coming up to make the tackle. And Walter Moultrie. The Wolverines are led by their quarterback, number 16, John Yezovich. The trivia question tonight, when was the last time the Woodland Hills Wolverines did not have a Yezovich on their team? I don't think the Woodland Hills Wolverines have ever not had a Yezovich. Yezevich loses the football, falls on it. Yeah, we'll call it.
I'm loving the pink tape. Sorry. I'm loving the pink tape on the shoes.
Well, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But, I actually like the look.
And here's a note for everyone watching. Taylor Adams went back to number 56. He's no longer number 19.
Third down for the Wolverines. Yezevich understands. Again, it looks like the Wolverines moved a little bit. The Wolverines run this way. Timbers inside the 20-yard line. We'll have a first down. Brought down in the secondary by Michael Jackson, Taylor Adams, and Brandon Eiffel. But not until he gets a first down. They'll mark him at the 15-yard line. That is a 17-yard pickup on a 3rd and 12. Timbers just took the pitch, went right side, had the blocking. Finally into the secondary where the Indians wrapped him up and brought him down. Again, the I formation behind Yezevich. That's Timbers deep. It'll be Timbers going into the line and right into the arms of Aaron Donald, who wraps him up. And we'll drop him for no gain. Wolverines with that big offensive line. They like to run behind them, and why not? Cameron Thompson in front of Timbers in the eye. Going in motion to the left, that's Richard Gray. And again, the Wolverines look like they move a little bit to the right tackle, nothing called. And Timbers will get down inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line for a 1-yard pickup. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 9 for the Wolverines. In fact, we'll get down to the 13-yard line. We'll call it a pickup of 2. Clock running, 7:45 to go in the scoreless opening period. Penn Hills, Woodland Hills. In motion is Tompkins. It'll be Timbers. Miles Davis is not able to bring him down. Finally, Taylor Adams at the 11-yard line after a pickup of another 2. And it'll be 4th down and 6. And the Wolverines will go for the field goal.
Starting at the 30-yard line, they hold him to 3 points here. That's pretty big.
Polk to hold. Does a nice job to get the snap down, and the ball goes off to the left. And the Indians
Nice
defense holds. Was a nice looking kick. Well, it looked like it hooked off to the left there a little bit. Tell you what, it was a bad snap. Credit to Ron Polk to actually get that ball down for Scheifo to be able to get the kick away. Not sure if Scheifo was able to get that ball in the right position, but give him credit because the ball was low and a bit behind him when it came in. And the Indians defense holds, and Indian offense back on the field again. I think we'll see a more conventional Indian defense, Indian offense. No, they're going to call that one on Trayvon Hester, or they're going to say that he came across the line. The flag is on the defensive side of the ball, so let's see what they say. Oh, they're going to go out against the Indians. Too bad he didn't get a shot at that call by the official there.
Very animated referee.
Very animated. I mean, he was out there discoing on that call.
He was.
So the Indians with a 1st and 15 at the 15-yard line. Washington with a big hole this way. We'll get the 5 yards back out to the 20-yard line. And it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Indians. They ran behind Trayvon Hester again, who's been opening some big holes of late for the Indians. Indian coaches have tweaked the offensive line a bit this year and seems to be working as late with the Indians putting up some big
big numbers rushing-wise the last few weeks. Christian and Jones this way, Eiffel to the right.
Now, although Washington only had 88 yards last week, he had 4 touchdowns.
Paschal is in front, and it'll be Paschal this time going to right side, and the Wolverines are not fold as Paschal will be dropped back at the 18-yard line for a loss of 2.
That's a play that gained him a lot of yards last week.
And it looked like the Wolverine coaches were ready for it. That's why they send out game films. Guys that take films of the games.
Wolverines did their homework.
I'd expect nothing less from the George Novak staff. George Novak, the only head coach in the history of the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
Wow, impressive. One of his former athletes may be starting for the Steelers next coming weekend against Denver.
Yeah, Whitaker will be sacked back at the 11-yard line. For a loss of 7. And Farraco's going to have to punt once again. Blocking just wasn't there on that one. I mean, they just came right up from the outside. Linebacker blitz from the right. And in they came. Farraco from his own end zone. Farraco gets this one underway under pressure. And Pitts will get it down to the 36-yard line. Woodland Hills will take over with 4:41 to go at the 36-yard line of the Indians. Worst starting field position of the night for the Wolverines.
Can't complain about that.
Double tight for the Wolverines. They keep it on the ground. Why not? They've had success so far. And there they go again. Timbers inside the 25-yard line. We'll have a first down at the 23. Cullen Christian coming up with the tackle. And the Indian corners are going to have to stop that outside run by Timbers. Done it twice for 30 yards. Wolverines have not had success running up the middle on the Indians. They've had their success going to the outside. Aaron Donald in the backfield as the ball's coming back will hold Timbers for no gain.
He almost beat the snap back.
Oh, he's a kid possessed tonight. I mean, he is just ready to play.
Oh, he was fired up in homeroom this morning.
He was?
He was ready to play. So was Myles Davis.
They were two of our seniors of the week, along with Taylor Adams. And Aaron Donald dropped us the tidbit that Myles Davis has the smelliest hands. Well, Aaron Donald, as Taylor and Myles told us, has the smelliest feet on the team. It was a lot of fun this week. Yezevich will throw under pressure from behind, gets the pass away. And it'll be short of the first down. The pass complete to Cameron Tompkins. Tompkins will get down to the 16-yard line. Give him a pickup of 7. Eiffel comes up and makes the tackle. And it'll be 3rd down and 3 for the Wolverines. This little safety valve release to Tompkins. And the Indians did a nice job to close quickly, but Tompkins stayed in to block. And as I said, he just simply released, and he was there as a safety valve for Yezevich. They pick up the 7 yards.
You know, if you watch a lot of their plays, a lot of them are going outside. Wonder what they saw on film.
Timbers again going to the outside. We'll have a first down. Down to the 11-yard line. Needed 3, got 5. And the Wolverines, yes, they can get another first down. They have the ball at the 11. They get the ball inside the 1. Clock running, approaching 2.5 to go here in a scoreless opening period, which has been played entirely down to our right. Tompkins in front of Timbers. In motion is Polk. And it'll be Timbers looking for somewhere to go up the middle, but he slips and falls. Moultrie will make the tackle along with Miles Davis. No gain on the play. Looked like he wanted a cut, and the feet just came out from under him.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 for the Wolverines. And maybe a half yard on that play. Coming into this game, 14 touchdowns and had a block punt on the score last week. 15 touchdowns, 14 rushing. Last week. 24 career rushing touchdowns.
Timbers looking for somewhere to go up the middle. Gets away from the first line of rush. Breaks a tackle in the backfield, gets down to the 7-yard line. The Indians need to do a better job of tackling Timbers there when they have him in the backfield like that. And he scampers his way down to, they're going to mark him with a 5 for a pickup of 6. I mean, the Indians had him in the backfield there, Keith. And believe it or not, he broke the tackle of Aaron Donald, who had him for a loss. The Timbers managed to get away, and the Wolverines with a 3rd and 3. Timbers again looking for somewhere to go into the line. Will be held short of the first down at the 3-yard line. And it'll be 4th down and 2 for the Wolverines at the 3-yard line. And Novak leaves the offense, Coach Novak leaves the offense on the field, it would appear. Again, the Wolverines could get a first down, like inside the 1-yard line. And Woodland Hills will call timeout. 30 seconds to go, first quarter. We are scoreless. Penn Hills, Woodland Hills. You are watching Indians football on Comcast. Timeout on the field with the Woodland Hills Wolverines at the 3-yard line. Need a first down at the 1. It's 4th down. What do you think here? Timbers?
Well, 30 seconds left in the first quarter. He has 43 yards already, so why not?
Timbers to the outside. I guess Timbers going to, my guess is Timbers this way.
Be a nice time for a play action also.
Yezevich loses the football. It's on the field. It's picked up by the Indians. Michael Jackson was unable to actually pick it up and run with it. He kind of fell, but he did fall on the football. And the Indians recover at the 3. And once again, the Indians dodge another Woodland Hills attack. But the bad news for the Indians is they have the ball at the 3-yard line. Had Jackson been able to pick that ball up, he'd been gone.
Well, we're both wrong on the play call.
Well, we don't know because he fumbled the snap. It looked like it was going to the left, though.
Once again, Indians have really bad field position here. Back on the 3.
You think?
And it's going to get worse.
Well, the only good news about Hester's moving this time is it's only going to cost him 1.5 yards.
Illegal procedure against Penn Hills. Half the distance will move the ball back around the 2-yard line. Still first down.
So I guess a 1-yard penalty, we'll call it. Washington is able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Number 2, Chris Washington trying to come right up over the right guard, get short yardage.
And the clock should wind down here. I don't think the Indians should. We'll get another play off. Then they will let the clock wind down. And it does. That'll do it. After one period of play, we are scoreless. Penn Hills, Woodland Hills. You are watching Indians football on Comcast. Second quarter about to get underway here at the Wolverina with the Indians and Wolverines scoreless. The Indians at the 2-yard line. Well, unfortunately, it's the other 2-yard line. But now, Keith, they're down to our left. Spent the whole first quarter down to our right.
Have a long way to go. Big hole to dig themselves out of right now.
Whitaker with the hard snap count. Keeps it himself, left side, pitches it. Chris Washington will be close to the first down, spins ahead.
Looks like he got it.
Let's see where they mark him. They will give him the first down, it does appear. Pickup of 11.
Gutsy call on the goal line.
And the Indians' first down. Devon Dixon with the tackle for the Wolverines.
Although it was on the 15, the 10. That was a touchdown-saving tackle.
It was. Ball out to the 14-yard line. Actually, it's a 13-yard pickup, wasn't it? No, 12-yard pickup for Washington. Washington again looking for somewhere to go up the middle. Has a bit of a hole across the 20. And Washington to the 23-yard line for a pickup of 9. Chris Washington, 21 yards on 2 consecutive rushes. Well, you go back to the first quarter, it's 21 on 3 rushes in this drive. Once in this quarter, back-to-back, pick up a 12, pick up a 9. Washington goes into the pile, looks like he'll be close to the first down. No, he'll be held no gain. And it'll be third and a yard. He's with the ball about the 23-yard line. They need to get to the 24-yard line. It's about a yard and a half. First man through. The Indians, Tariq Hester, and Hester, again, no gain. And it'll be 4th and a yard. And the punting team comes on. See if the Indians do indeed punt. I mean, Woodland Hills has had the ball down there twice.
You know, you'd love to see them.
And odds are they're going to get good field position again.
If it didn't work, wow. Giving them more really good field position.
High kick this way. Fair catch called for and made at the 50-yard line by the Wolverines. Lafitte Pitts. So the Wolverines with their worst field position of the night at the 50. Almost getting the ball in their own territory for the first time. But the Indian defense has been bending but not breaking. Wolverines missed a 28-yard field goal and then fumbled at the 3-yard line on a 4th and 1.
After that first bad punt, Fracco with 2 pretty decent punts from deep in his own end zone. Deep in his own.
That was nice and high. It made it for no return.
Yeah.
Wolverines go double tight. Tompkins is in front of Timbers. And it'll be Timbers going to the outside, has a hole, cuts back up the middle. Myles Davis finally wraps him up inside the 35. They're going to mark him at the 30-yard line. It's a 20-yard pickup for Timbers. And again, the Indians need to try to wrap him up on that initial hit. In fact, nobody hit him until Myles Davis got to him in the secondary.
You know, they're not trying to take anything up the middle. Everything's going to the outside.
And the Wolverines use their second of 3 timeouts. 9:03 to go. Second quarter, we are scoreless. Penn Hills, Woodland Hills. You are watching Indians football on Comcast. Following the timeout, the Wolverines with a 1st and 10 at the Indian 30-yard line. David Green will split to the left. Again, it's Timbers deep in the eye. And I think they finally called the Wolverines on the Like the Wolverines have been jumping a little bit early here. The first half, that's the first time they've been called for it. It's just an observation. Breeze picking up here at the Wolverina.
So far, the Wolverines are just beating themselves. Fumble near the goal line, missed field goal.
Penalty here on 1st and 10. Good 1st and 15. Tompkins on a waggle this way. Yeah, the Wolverines move again.
Taylor Adams taking a ball in the head right there.
Little more reserved on his call this time. Wolverines with a 1st and 20. Now he needs a couple of holding calls in.
Maybe that's the key.
Yezevich will throw. Looking down the sideline, has a man and a pass thrown out of bounds. Ray Harris on the coverage. It was intended for Lafayette Pitts. Now bring up a 2nd down and 20 for the Wolverines. 8:54 to go here in the second quarter.
I think if that ball was close to being complete, Harris would have picked that off. He was in really good position to make the play.
Yeah, Ray covered that one very well. Now he's on Jaron Polk, who split to the near side. And Timbers, again, going off tackle. The Indians are there this time. They'll pick up a yard. Miles Davis come up to make a tackle. And it'll be 3rd and 19 for the Wolverines. The Wolverines have had success running off the right tackle, but it looks like the Indians adjusted on that one. Maybe they're waiting for that play. So them going double tight or only having one wide out as they do here. The Indians linebackers move up and the secondary can move up. They have one-on-one coverage. The lone wide receiver, Yezevich, looking over the middle, has a man towards the corner of the end zone, and the pass is complete. Oh my! Michael Jackson and Colin Christian on the coverage, but the pass caught by Joe Lofton at the 3-yard line. That's a 36-yard pass on a 3rd and 19. Indians gave him just too much room.
Looks like Mike Jackson had good coverage, just jumped a little too early.
Timbers into the line, into the end zone, touchdown Woodland Hills. The Indians with an opportunity on 3rd and 19. Let the Woodland Hills Wolverines pick up the 1st down. And you're not going to stop the Wolverines inside the 5-yard line that many times.
3rd and 19, you give up a 36-yard pass, that takes a lot of wind out of you.
And the kick is up and good. 7:59 to go, first half. Woodland Hills 7, Penn Hills nothing. You are watching Indians football on Comcast. But give credit where credit is due. Joe Lofton came down with the ball. And the Wolverines will kick off, this time again to Jones at the 6-yard line. Where Jones letting the block set up, and Jones will get out across the 20. They'll mark him at the 25. And believe it or not, this is the best starting field position of the night for the Indians.
They're outside the 10.
At the 26-yard line.
10 for the Indians. 19-yard return for Corey Jones.
They're going to give him the 26-yard line, a 19-yard return for Jones. Nothing doing there for the Indians. Roberson with the carry. Now it'll be second down and 10.
Stop made by Caden Mosley-Smith. No gain on the play. Second and 10 for Penn Hill.
After the first play of the game, when the Indians threw the halfback pass, I mean, they've really gone ultra-conservative.
Maybe a little bit of a gutsy call with the option on the one.
See if the Wolverines jumped off sides. So they threw the flag, so let's see. Wolverines are saying, what? So apparently that's what the call is going to be. So the Indians will be looking at a second down and 5. Whitaker looks like he has a little bit of trouble with the snap. Not sure if that was a broken play or not. But he'll be dropped on the play. Mike Caprera and Devlin McBride on the tackle. It's like a loss of 2. And the Indians will have a third down and 7.
You know, the Indian offense is awfully sluggish. Total of 16 yards so far in this first half. I don't think it's going to get it done through the whole night.
The Indians fumble the snap. The Wolverines fall on it at the 29-yard line. Wolverines will have it first and 10 at the 29-yard line with 6:07 to go in half. The Wolverines have not started a drive on their side of the 50-yard line.
Bill, that's Whitaker's fifth fumble, 4th loss on the year.
Yezevich under center, I formation behind him. The Wolverines up by 7, looking to add more. Looks like Yezevich loses the football on the snap. And the Indians get it right back.
Taylor Adams.
Taylor Adams indeed coming up with it. Teams exchange turnovers. The Indians have it at the 30-yard line. Best starting field position of the night for the Indians. Saw a swarm of Indians heading over that way. Taylor Adams diving on the ball, which was a smart thing to do. Not too often you see a fumbled snap like that and the ball kicked around everywhere. Whitaker holds on to this one, looking down the sideline this way. Colin Christian, and the pass just a bit too far. The players really need to be careful on the sideline here. They only have about 5 yards.
Had a nice tight
If they run into a wall. Oh, Whitaker can throw a football. No doubt about that one. And he threw it where only Christian could come up with it. The pass is a bit out of bounds. I'm not sure if Colin Christian actually had a chance to catch that one or not.
He didn't miss by much on that.
But again, you know, credit Whitaker. He put it only where only Christian was going to come up with it. It was going to be incomplete, or Christian was going to have it for a big gain. Washington cuts it back on the pitch with a big hole. Chris Washington out to the 39-yard line. Will pick up 9 yards. And the Indians looking at a third down and 1. I'd say the Indians get no gain on this next play. Make it 4th and 1. I think the way things have gone so far, you go for it. Huh? What? Listen, if the Indians don't get it on this play and it's 4th and 1, I think the way the Wolverines start on that side of the field anyway, I might as well go for it. The Indians have nothing to lose tonight. They lose this game, they're in 3rd place. They could win this game and still wind up in 3rd place.
So why not go for it all?
They could win this game and wind up in 1st and 2nd. But for them to wind up in 1st place, they got to beat Woodland Hills by 22. I don't want to get too convoluted on the playoff possibilities here because the Indians needed to win the game first. And just to come in and say that against the Woodland Hills Wolverines have really dominated. The Woodland Hills Wolverines, the lowest points they've scored in their wins this year has been 21 points. They beat Bethel Park 21-17. But in all their other games, they've scored 37, 37, 27, 36, 38, and 52.
Wow.
The Indians, by comparison in their wins, they've scored 31, 28, 38, and 48. Which really is, sort of comparable. Yet the Indians are 4 and 4. The Wolverines are 7 and 1. The most points the Wolverines have given up was 17 to Bethel Park. Gave up 14 to Plum last week. But they shut out Connellsville 37-0, unlike Gateway 76-0 shutout of Gateway.
But what you're saying is, if you're going to take chances for a football game, tonight's the night to do that.
Tonight's the night to do it. I mean, if Central Catholic is at Fox Chapel tonight. Right now, the Indians have the tiebreak. If all 3 teams win, they finish with the same Gardner points. It's going to come down to point differentials in conference games. If you rank them the way it is this week, it would be Woodland Hills, Penn Hill, Central Catholic. The Indians actually have, I think, point differential, 20 points or 22 points ahead of Central Catholic. So barring a Central Catholic blowout of Fox Chapel, which is extremely possible, the Indians could win and probably finish second unless they get the...
Good second effort.
Absolutely. Unless they get a 22-point win here tonight against the Wolverines. Washington gets across the 40 to the 41. Great second effort gives the Indians their second first down of the half. And the Indians, that's the farthest they've been away from their own end zone tonight. Clock approaching 4:50 and running here in the opening half. The Wolverines up by 7.
Even if they get nothing out of this drive, they're changing the field position. If they have to punt off this drive and Fracco kicks another good one, they could pin the Wolverines back a little further.
Wolverines showing blitz in the pass. Unable to connect with Corey Connors. Back to 95 there. Corey Jones. Had his brother Isaiah over for dinner tonight.
Really?
Yes, I did. Young Isaiah, you'll see him on the sidelines during some timeouts. He's wearing the red Penn Hills jersey, number 10. He's down there with Joe and Will.
I was talking to Isaiah last week, trying to recruit him for wrestling in a few years.
Nice, get him this year. But yeah, he took the bus home with Joe and Will, came down the house, and I stopped and got some pizza. After this play, I got to tell you about stopping and getting the pizza. Throwback.
That will be a run.
Roberson looking for somewhere to go, and all he sees is a sea of black and teal, and he'll be dropped back at the 31-yard line. He'll lose 10, does Roberson, and it'll be 3rd and 20. My, the Indians were going the right way, and that one did not help. So I figured I'm going to stop and get a pizza so I can feed the kids when I get home from work. So I call ahead to Fox's. Not to plug Fox's, but we'll just say Fox's, because that's where it was. So I get up to Fox's. They're across from the police station. Look, there's about 10 players in Fox's. They're all eating everything. Tyree Turner was there with his white shoes, and he was gorging himself.
Tyree Turner, I'm guessing, can eat some pizza.
Oh yeah, Roberson is going to be dropped for another loss on the draw, and the Indians lose another 3.
So how was the pizza?
Oh, the pizza was good. They get that and the Italian Huggies, but his goal was to gorge himself enough so if he gets out in the line, he was going to, let's just say, expel upon a Wolverine. A bunch of characters.
Absolutely.
Fracco to punt again. The Wolverines have been getting the pressure, but Fracco getting the kicks away. This time the Wolverines will return. The Indians are out on the coverage, but the Wolverines will have the sideline. Lafitte Pitts will go inside the 10, will beat Farraco. Touchdown, Woodland Hills Wolverines. Fiat Pitts just ran to his right, got the blocks, got the wall. Took it at the 46-yard line. They went to his right, just off the sideline. The Indians just could not catch him. And the Wolverines extend their lead on the punt return. 54 yards, and the kick is up and good. 2:54 to go, first half. Woodland Hills 14, Penn Hills nothing. You're watching Indians football on Comcast. The Wolverines with the 54-yard punt return by Lafayette Pitts. Extend their lead to 14-0 here over the Indians. And I think the Indians' offense needs to start getting a little more creative. Jones from the goal line. Gets away from one man and almost broke it out to the 23-yard line. I don't know how Jones stayed out of the end zone there. Really thought they were going to call the touchback.
He was tiptoeing back there.
He brought that one back. It was 100 yards.
Trying a little something different at fullback, bringing in Jamalcus Jemison, number 35.
Quick shot, pass complete. Corey Jones out to the 30-yard line. We'll pick up 7. And the Indians with a 2nd down and 3. The Indians need to do more of that. They need to pick up some yards on 1st down, which they have not been doing at all. The Indians drive looking at a 2nd and 10, 2nd and 10. A 2nd and 10, a 2nd and 10, a 2nd and 10. This time a 2nd and 3. Again, Whitaker swing pass to the back, and it's almost picked off. It's a fumble. They got to pick it up. Oh no, they're going to call it an incomplete pass. That should have been a fumble. I don't know. I think the officials were sleeping on that one. That one was a fumble.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that.
That was a fumble on that one. That was a throwback pass. The officials not calling out when the ball laying on the turf. We're watching the Woodland Hills replay.
The players, the officials, everyone stopped.
No, because if he had caught that and gone with it, that would have been a run.
That's the way I would have scored it.
Oh, my. Whitaker could have got nowhere on that one. Just as he was getting ready to throw it, Mike Caprera just smothered him on the sack. We dropped back at the 25-yard line. It'll be 4th and 9. Indians lose 6.
They picked up 6 on 1st down, lost 6 on 3rd down.
They picked up 7 on 1st down.
7, I'm sorry.
I'm giving Jones 7. I think the Indians are going to call timeout here with 1:32 to go. Yes, they do. 1:32 to go, first half. Penn Hills trails 14-0. You're watching Indians football on Comcast. You know, Kanan Mosley Smith with the deflection. If he'd picked that up, I mean, that should
only
have
had
been
a
a
good
fumble.
3 yards. They could have picked up that fumble and ran for 3.
Fracco to kick. Again, the pressure.
Nice
Nice
punt.
spinning kick. Lafitte from the 41-yard, calls for a fair catch at the 40. And the Wolverines have 1:30, no time ticked off the clock.
It was that quick of a punt.
No time clicked off the clock. Yezovic to throw, near side, and a pass a bit too far. Hester on the coverage. The pass was intended for Jaron Polk. And it brings up a 2nd down and 10 for the Wolverines. I believe in their worst starting field position of the night. This is the first time they've been on their side of the 50.
Yes, you're right. Ray Harris gave a nice little lick at the end of the play there.
It splits to the near side, one-on-one coverage. And they keep it on the ground, and Myles Davis will drop Dom Timbers for a 1-yard gain. That's a tough yard because he was hit hard. Yeah, now the clock at 1:05.
That's the only way Myles knows how to hit.
Yeah. See the guns on him. If you missed the interview, Coach's Corner, when you can see the seniors, check out his guns, meaning the biceps.
And since he wears his little brother's shirts, they look a lot bigger at school.
Yezovic under pressure will be sacked. Taylor Adams. No gain, so therefore not a sack. And Penn Hills calls a timeout with 43 seconds to go, and it's 4th down. Indians trying to get an opportunity to get the ball back, and there's a nice shot of Isaiah, their number 10. Will's letting him go out to do some water duty there tonight. So.
What grade is Isaiah in?
7th.
7th.
Yes.
He'd make a good wrestler.
I had to think about that for a second. Joe's in 8th, Will's in, he's with Willie. He's in 7th grade with Will.
Well, since apparently he's a good family friend of yours, maybe you can convince him that wrestling season starts on November 22nd.
Isaiah will tell you he's a lover, not a fighter. Hey, you could drop the hint. I can tell you he's a character. If he does, you'd enjoy having him. Indians sent out the
It looks like he might go 90 pounds, 95. We need all those low weight classes. So Linton Middle School students, 7th and 9th grade, come on out to wrestling.
And we got another timeout, this time by the Wolverines. A lot of strategery going on here, it would seem. And oh, heck, why not just keep it here with 43 seconds to go? And the Indians trying to set something up here on a return, I would hope.
Bill, while we have a minute here, over the week I've gotten a few compliments from students of mine for being on the air. So I guess I wasn't that bad last week. Being my first time on the air.
They're just looking for grades.
You're probably right. But 2 of them were homeroom students, so they're just looking to not get marked in late.
There you go. Hey, you never hurt. No, you did a fine job. Fine job. Great to have you on.
It's a little surprise last week when you just hooked a mic up to my tie.
There you go, Keith. Start talking. Not as easy as it looks, is it?
No, it's not.
Wolverines to punt for the first time tonight. Pitts. Brandon Eiffel at the 27-yard line, and Eiffel gets across the 35 to about the 39. Line drive. It looked like Lafitte Pitts took about 6 steps before he hit that one away.
Yeah, he did.
Well, the danger of that one is, though, is he starts doing that, You got linemen starting to release. Now you got, linemen getting downfield before the kick,
Well, when he
which is a penalty, by the way.
when he got that and he started running with it, I thought it was going to be a fake.
Did appear that way at first.
Trying to get as much momentum as he could.
Jones has the pass at the 42-yard line, breaks the tackle, gets across the 50, just on the Woodland Hills Wolverines side of the 50-yard line for a first down. The clock will stop with 29 seconds to go. Where did they start this drive? Oh, 39. Yeah. So I'm going to give it a 12-yard pickup for Jones. Ball at the 49-yard line, we'll call it. Whitaker runs out of the pocket, goes just a pass away, and it's almost picked off.
Wow.
Oh, my. That was intended for Brandon Eiffel, who's not happy right now.
And this is the first time the Penn Hills have crossed the 50-yard line so far.
Yeah, that's a
Barely.
But no, look where they marked the ball. Look where they marked the ball. The ball on the last pass was on the other side of the 50. Now they mark it on this side.
Maybe the officials heard me say that and they just pushed it back a little.
Whitaker has some room to run, will go. Across the 50, needs to get out of bounds after the first down, and he does. Whitaker down to the 37-yard line, picks up 13.
Ray Harris got there's a hair late on a block. If he would have hit the D-back a little earlier, Whitaker would have been off to the races.
So one thing Whitaker gives you is the speed out of the pocket, and he can tuck it under and run. The Indians, the deepest penetration of the night at the 37. They have 11 seconds to go, which they do have a timeout left. Just got to avoid the sack. Pass, almost picked off, was headed to Jones. And that was 6 for Devlin McBride if he was able to hold on to that ball. Now with 7 seconds to go, you got to throw this one to the end zone.
Oh, that's my guess. No point in throwing it short. You're going to be out of field goal range no matter what.
Well, the clock does stop with the first down if they can get it with the and they have a timeout left.
Okay.
But down 14-0. You got to think 7. Wolverines coming with the blitz. Whitaker launching one towards the end zone. There's nobody there. The pass picked off in the end zone and taking the knee, and wisely so as the clock winds down. David McClendon. And that'll do it for the first half. Your score, Woodland Hills 14, Penn Hills nothing. You are watching Indians football on Comcast. One of the farthest points they could send them would be Mount Lebanon as a second-place team. Fracca will squib it, picked up at the 25-yard line. And the Wolverines will start at the 39-yard line, their worst starting field position of the night, I believe. Wolverines not used to being on their side of the 50-yard line. There's Mike Lee on the return for the Wolverines. And Yezevich will take the field for the Wolverines. Up by 14.
First and 10 Wolverines from their own 29-yard line. Correction, 39-yard line.
Tight eye formation for the Wolverines. They lose the football again. It looks like Yezevich falls on it himself. And he does. He'll lose a yard on the play. That's been a couple of fumbles tonight for the Wolverines on the snap. Indians have taken the ball away from the Wolverines twice on fumbled snaps.
22 teams, I believe it's 4 fumbles.
And 1 fumble not called.
Absolutely.
Timbers wrapped up by the ankles. Walter Moultrie will hold him for a pickup of 1. And it'll be 3rd down and 10. If you're the Wolverines, I mean, you come out and be a little conservative with a 14-0 lead, or you try to add to it as best you can. Try to open things up still. I mean, do you throw here, or do you just try to run the ball? Of course, the Wolverines have had success with Timbers running off tackle to the right side. And if they go double tight, expect something like that again. And that they will. They have Polk in a slot. He moves in motion this way. The Wolverines look like they jumped. And the referee doesn't have a flag. He has like a beach towel.
That or a very large flag. The disco ref calls it again.
False start against the Wolverines will make it 3rd and 15.
Ball spotted just beyond the 34-yard line of Woodland Hills. Third down for the Wolverines. 3rd and 15.
The Wolverines will send Pitts off to the right, one-on-one coverage with Colin Christian. High formation behind Yezevich. And Yezevich will throw, looking towards Pitts up the sideline, and the pass too far. Colin Christian was all over him like a bad toupee. And that'll bring up 4th down for the Wolverines. And for the second time tonight, the Wolverines will punt. Jones and Eiffel back for your Penn Hills Indians. Lafayette Pitts, who will take about 8 steps before he kicks it. There was movement on the line. Yes, there was. They will call it. Turn around and looking, wondering what was going on. But looked like Zach Jessel took off to his right before the snap. They'll show the replay up here in the booth. I don't think there's a question about it. The Wolverines, for the first time tonight, inside their own 30. Low line drive snap. Eiffel. Jump ball gets up across the 40 to the 45-yard line. We'll give him the 36. And the Indians will start from their best field position of the night with 9:55 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The ball at their own, they're going to mark it at their own 45-yard line.
No, it really looks like that coverage unit's getting downfield a little early before the punt comes out. It does take a long time for punter to get the ball out.
Power I formation for the Indians. And the Indians, I think, forgot to block on that one. They got 2 linemen in the backfield. I don't think they left anybody up front because Alfonso Strozer got back there as Whitaker took the snap and dropped him for a loss of 5.
Both blocking backs went to the right. No one kind of stayed in front of Whitaker and tried to protect him. They both picked up the same man coming off the side.
So it'll be 2nd and 15 for the Indians on the sack. Whitaker from the shotgun. Steps up in the pocket. I think Whitaker, in a case of panicking a little bit, got a little too antsy back there. He'll be sacked for a loss of 2. And now it's 3rd and 17.
So as you said multiple times, Bill, this is the night to take chances. I'd like to see a pass here instead of maybe a draw or something like they would usually do.
Twins each way for the Indians. Washington State's back to pass. Whitaker steps up in the pocket. It's Colin Christian at the 50-yard line. Christian inside the 40, the 30. Christian up the sideline, cuts back. First down, Indians at the Woodland Hills 19-yard line. 43 yards on the pass. And the Indians need to get their big guns in this passing game more, getting the ball off to Christian and Eiffel. So on a 3rd and 17, the Indians connect for 43 yards.
That outdoes Woodland Hills 3rd and 19 with 36 yards.
Key Paschal inside the 15, down to about the 11-yard line. Give him about a pickup of close to I guess 7 yards. He needs to get to 19. You look at the stick on the far side. The stick on the left is at the 19. The stick on the right is at the 10. They didn't tighten the sticks, I would imagine. Otherwise, it's 9 yards. And the Wolverines jump off sides. That'll give the Indians a 1st and goal.
So, Bill, I'm not an English teacher here, but encroachment being the penalty actually means violation. Has really nothing to do with being offsides.
It's just the nomenclature. Indians 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Paschal in front of Chris Washington. Whitaker will throw. Again, Antsy in the pocket. He needs to stand in there and get that ball away. If there's anything negative you want to say about Chaz Whitaker, there's so many positives. One thing is he needs to show more patience in that pocket. Dropped for a loss of 2. I mean, if nobody's there, throw it away.
Can't take that sack.
Get it close, but don't take the sack. Paschal in front of Washington. See if Paschal gets it as the first man through. No, Whitaker will throw again. Looking, corner of the end zone. A pass too far for Corey Jones.
He had him open in the end zone. Couldn't connect.
That's just a bit too far. Now 3rd and goal from the 10-yard line. Christian and Jones this way. Eiffel to the left. Draw play. Chris Washington and the Woodland Hills Wolverines were there waiting for it. Washington will actually lose a yard. And it'll be 4th and goal. And they're going to send out Farraco to get the field goal. And if you're the Indians, I don't know, call me crazy. Out of trailing by 14 in a game that really have nothing to lose, go for the end zone, will you?
Having the ball inside the 10-yard line, they went kind of conservative.
No, not really. They had a sack, incomplete pass, and then, the draw play.
Now pushing back another 5.
We got a delay of game call here?
I believe so.
That's a pretty darn quick delay. So now the ball back to the 17-yard line. A kick from the 24, a 34-yard field goal attempt. Quite makeable for Farraco. Eiffel to hold. Farraco's kick is up. And it's good. 5:33 to go, 3rd quarter. Your score, Woodland Hills 14, Penn Hills 3. You are watching Indians football on Comcast. The Indians go 55 yards in 7 plays. Mike Farraco, the 34-yard field goal. And Farraco, another squib, taken at the 11-yard line. And they're going to say Pitts went down on his knee at the 17. It was Timbers. And the Wolverines with their worst field position. Now, if you're the Indians, you get a touchdown, you go for 2. Now you're back within a field goal. 14-11. Oh, I gave away Penguin tickets tonight. I didn't know that. I'd have bought a chance on them, on Penguin tickets.
Well, I'm hoping the Penguin tickets aren't for tonight's game. He'd have to leave an hour ago.
Again, the Woodland Hills Wolverines lose the snap, and it looks like they fall on it again. So if the Indians can catch a break on a fumble exchange this deep in the Woodland Hills territory. Yeah, the Pens are at Columbus tonight. Thank you, William. We found where William is. Not feeling good, so he came up to the booth. Yezovic hit by his own man, and they're going to be dropped. Lafitte Pitts back at the 10-yard line on the end around. Be a loss of 8. We'll make it 3rd and 18. Yezovic, as he come out, ran into the pulling guard. He pulled just a little too early, or Yezovic didn't get out fast enough. But he ran into his own man, which kind of threw a monkey wrench into the whole scenario. And the Indians, a nice job of making the play.
You know, the story of the first half was field position. Penn Hills had bad field position. The Wolverines had good the whole first half. Now it looks like that's turned.
Yezovic rolls to his right, looking downfield, under pressure. The Indians are there, gets away. Shaq Madison on the pursuit. And coming up with the sack is Taylor Adams at the 6-yard line. Loss of 4 on the sack, and the Wolverines now will have to punt from their own end zone. And I think if you're the Indians looking at what Pitts has been doing on his the way he takes 6 steps to kick it, bring the house.
Absolutely.
Bring the house right here. The Indians aren't, but I'd be bringing the house.
He's going to kick it low.
You get a little bit of wider shot here, Bob. You can see Pitts on his way he runs. And the Indians do Pitts. It goes out of the end zone for safety.
Looked like Mike Jackson, Sean Shockey, and Keith Haschel was in there.
And the Indians did indeed bring the rush this time. Good thing Bob got that wide camera angle on that one.
Good call, Bob.
Yeah, that's why he is the producer-in-chief. All hail Bob. But the Indians, now if you get the touchdown, now, you're at 14-11. You can kick the extra point, make it 14-12, and then a field goal takes the lead. Hopefully they put the replay again up in the booth here just so we can double check who did get the block. But again, it's Pitts who makes those 6 steps off to his right. Again, we're surprised that they don't have the illegal man downfield, before the kick.
So, Bill, I have to give you credit for 2 things. You called the wide camera angle and bringing the house against his punter. You're on tonight.
I know football.
Bill Navari.
But no, that was the opportunity. You see what Pitts is doing, the way he takes a long time to get it away. Kick it from his own end zone. Bring it. Bring it. Even if he gets the kick away, you got Eiffel and Jones back. You're going to get good field. You're going to get field position inside the 50-yard line on Woodland Hill's side of the ball. Or you're going to get a blocked punt for a safety, possibly a touchdown. The ball went out of the end zone. There was a bunch of Indians around. Unfortunately for the Woodland Hills Wolverines, it went out of the end zone. Otherwise, that was 6 points for the Indians. Now the Wolverines will have to kick back. The Indians get the ball back. So, I mean, it was an unfortunate turn of events for the Wolverines, but the Indians, again, it's the defense. Jones from his 35-yard line. Jones needs to accelerate as soon as he gets the football, and he slips as he gets across the 50. He'll have it at the 48-yard line. And the Indians, for the first time tonight, will start in Penn Hills territory. And if I'm the Indians, you know what? I am sending Eiffel or Colin Christian streaking down the sideline in the middle of the field, and I'm taking a shot at the end zone on this play.
Absolutely, and they're getting – Eiffel's had one-on-one coverage for most of the night. Here it looks like he's doubled up now.
No, he's still in single coverage. They're going to bring that cornerback. And I have no idea what just happened there.
Give to the fullback, number 23, Kai Paschal.
So it was Key Paschal, no gain.
Very quickly,
Pardon me.
Ron White and Darrell Smith leading the charge. Gain of maybe half a yard. Second down.
Well, I guess that's why I'm not an offensive coordinator. You know.
Inside to Woodland Hills, 48.
But I would, you have Woodland Hills right now on their heels. You just scored 5 points here in just a matter of like a minute and a half. You know what? Go for the end zone. Really get them. If you get a long pass into the end zone, you really have Woodland Hills scrambling.
I mean, here you have Eiffel on our side of the field, not only one of the fastest Indians on
One of
this
the
football
fastest
team,
kids
but
in
one
the
of the
league.
fastest people in the state.
And Washington will pick up 4 yards.
Tailback, number 2, Chris Washington, trying to
And it'll be 3rd down and 6. Again, Eiffel, it looks like he's in one-on-one coverage with Ron Devon on the near side. Devon 5'11", 181. Eiffel 6'1", 185. So Eiffel with a couple of inches on him.
As I mentioned, not only one of the fastest Indians, but one of the fastest 200 runners in the state. He can outrun probably any cornerback you put on him.
Colin Christian out to
You
the
just
left,
throw it
one-on-one
up.
coverage on the 5'8", Devon Dixon. Christian is 6'1", a lot of height there, advantage for Colin Christian. And the Indians keep it on the ground. It'll be Chris Washington, and Washington will be close to the first down. He did not get a good spot on that one. He did not get a good spot. He had that ball at the 43-yard line, and the official coming from 5 yards back. He needed to stay with the runner on that one, and they're going to mark him short of the first down. Indians offense is going to stay on the field. And if you watch the replay, he came down at the 43-yard line. That was a bad spot for Washington. Washington gets stacked up. He didn't get it, and I can't believe the Indians ran that play. The Wolverines will take over on downs at the 40-yard line. I mean, you have them on their heels and you don't throw the ball one time. 4th and 1, you run a dive play on the biggest line, in the conference, and they got 8 men stacked in the box.
If you're going to try to gain 1 yard,
If you're going to do that, do a quarterback sneak.
either that or big Tariq Hester.
Yeah. The Wolverines moved. It'll cost them 5, but the Wolverines have the ball at the 40-yard line. Again, the Indians nothing to lose tonight, and they're playing so conservative. I mean, that would have been a great play for play action.
4th and short like that, absolutely.
Timbers in the backfield will be stacked up and dropped for a loss at the 31-yard line. Timbers will lose 4. It'll be 2nd and 19. The Indians' defense really coming alive. Yezovic falls as he came out from under the center. They're going to roll him down. They're going to mark him at the 27-yard line, a loss of 4. That'll do it for quarter number 3. When we come back, the Wolverines will have a 3rd and 23. The Indians trail now by 9. You are watching Indians football on Comcast. Fourth quarter about to get underway. The Indians outscoring the Wolverines 5-0 in the third quarter. And the Wolverines look on the end around.
There's a towel out.
There is one way back at the 27-yard line, holding against the Wolverines, and yes, you send them back to 10 yards. You know, it would be 4th down.
4th down and 12, so.
4th and 12, I mean, they would punt, but I think you march them back. You know, you get better field position. Yeah, they are going to take the penalty.
I think that was only 2nd down.
No, that was actually, yeah, you're right. No, that was a 3rd down play.
3rd down?
That was 3rd down. It would be 4th down if they declined the penalty. But yet you're going to mark them, you're going to push them inside the 20-yard line, and if you don't give up the 1st down here, you should still get decent, field position. And who knows, maybe you get another holding penalty.
You do have the memory of that long 3rd down pass that they gave up earlier.
But it's 3rd and 33.
Let's hope this doesn't come back to bite them.
They need to get to the 50-yard line on the 17. Again, 3rd and 33. Indians are showing blitz. They're going to keep it on the ground. And Taylor Adams will wrap up Timbers at the 15-yard line. They'll give him the 16 for a loss of a yard. And there you go. They're punting from the 16-yard line now. Indians should get good field position with an opportunity to really get back in the game. Still a 2-score game.
Once again, you have this punter. It worked last time, just like you said. Bring them all. The ball's going to get to Eiffel and Jones quick.
Indians have 9 men at the line. And it's blocked again by the Indians. Falling on inside the 10-yard line. Sean Sharkey with the block, it appeared. And the Indians will have it 1st and goal with 10:42 to go here in the third quarter. Marking the ball at the 9-yard line. They see the replay. Whoever 19 is now. Who's 19 now?
Unte Jones.
It is Unte now?
James, I'm
Unte
sorry.
James with the block.
They got to punch it in here. You can't settle for 3 on this one.
Washington wrapped up at the 10-yard line. Washington will lose a yard back to the 10. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line. I think the way the Indians' defense is playing, that if you get a 4th down here, say it's 4th down from around the 10-yard line, kick the field goal. Now it's a 1-score game. It's 14-8. You get a touchdown, an extra point, you win the game.
As far as swing of momentum, you'd love to see him get
pass. Oh my, there it was. Pass too low on the slant pattern. Whitaker struggled with that one all year with putting that pass in too low. He gets that pass up in Jones's numbers. That's a touchdown.
3rd and goal for the Indians from the Wolverine 10-yard line.
Now 3rd and goal. As I said, I think if you don't get it, you get the 3 points. You got to come away with points here and make it a 1-score game.
You can get the touchdown.
A touchdown will be great. But if you get the touchdown now, you kick the extra point. You don't have to go for the 2. Because you get 2, it makes it 14-13. But if you miss, you got a 3-point game. You get the 1. Whitaker rolls to his right, looks this way. Under pressure. Has some room to run inside the 10, 5. Whitaker. They're going to say he ran out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Whitaker just took off to his right, came back to the left as the Wolverines were coming. I didn't see him. He did not step out of bounds. Watching the replay up here in the booth, he did not step out of bounds. Hey, Len, just watch the replay. He was nowhere near the sideline. No, he was not.
Get the Penn Hills fans fired up.
Yeah, there was a timeout on the field. You see who called the timeout? Is it the Indians? I would think it would. No, is it the Wolverines? Fracco to line up for a 21-yard field goal. Low snap. Fracco to kick is blocked. It's picked up by the Wolverines at the 1-yard line.
He has blockers.
Eiffel is back. There goes Fracco. And Fracco with the tackle at the 5-yard line.
What a turn. Wow.
The Woodland Hills Wolverines come up with a big play, return it to the 4-yard line. Fracco could have been called with a horse collar, but does a nice job of making his tackle. And the Wolverines with first and goal at the 4-yard line. Again, you look at the play, the call on Whitaker where you see the replay did not step out of bounds. And that might have been a touchdown.
I think he was in, but they called it, he stepped out at the 4. I'm pretty sure he broke the plane and he was in.
Yeah.
One official running from the opposite end of the field put his arms up to signal a touchdown.
Yeah, and we saw the replay, and he did not step out of bounds. Timbers to the 1-yard line.
Ball was marked on the 1-yard line. Gain of 3 for Timbers.
Clock will roll under 9 minutes. Field goal would have made it 14-8, made it a 1-score game. I don't know. I hate to look back and say maybe we should have gone for it inside the 5, but
That's going to take a lot out of the team.
especially if Timbers gets in here, and he does. So Timbers makes the score 20-5 at the moment. Now an extra point here will force the Indians to score twice and go for 2 twice. Kick is up and good. 8:45 to go, 4th quarter. Woodland Hills 21, Penn Hills 5. You are watching Indians football on Comcast. Go for it.
Now you really have nothing to lose.
Wolverines go 4 yards in 2 plays. Timbers gets all 4. The 1-yard run, they extend the lead, though, the Woodland Hills Wolverines 21-5. The Indians not a recipient of a good officiating call on the Chaz Whitaker touchdown. Jones goes into the end zone for the touchback. Yeah, we watched the Woodland Hills replay up here in the they have offer the replays up here in the press box. And Whitaker did not step out of bounds.
We watched the replay a few times up here, and
I didn't see
I didn't see it at all.
No, and you look back too on Chris Washington's run. They said he was short of the first down up around the 40-yard line on a bad spot. The next play, they don't get it on fourth down. So a couple of officiating calls here.
Now the official
really
when Whitaker stepped out of bounds was right on
there.
top of it.
Penalty flag on the Indians. I want to say a false start. Look at everybody moved but the center, which you know where that points to. Andrew Foster into the game for the Indians. Now this is really where you got to use Ray Harris into the wide out on the near side. Indians go with 4 receivers. Whitaker from the shotgun. And Woodland Hills. Indians bring in 4 receivers. They needed 5 linemen. Some of these you can. You could say, Whitaker got a little antsy or some of the things and maybe some of these plays, but you look at some of these sacks, though. I mean, as soon as Whitaker's getting the ball, he's got 3 guys on him. How do you point to Chaz and blame him for something like taking these sacks? I'll give him credit for not losing the football.
That last play, he didn't even finish his 3-step drop before he was getting flushed out and hit.
I mean, he's in a shotgun. And the ball's getting snapped back to him. The Woodland Hills Wolverines are there as he gets the football. And the Indians will keep it on the ground. Washington will get a yard. And it'll be 3rd down for the Indians.
The Indians' offense, as good as they've looked in the second half, they still have only 86 total yards.
Well, you'd like to see him pick up 94 of them right here.
Look at this. You have Christian all the way on our right side, one-on-one coverage.
And if Whitaker can get more than a second before he gets hit, maybe he could hit these receivers.
At some point, Whitaker might want to think about just taking a 1-step drop, putting the ball up in the air. And
throw it as soon as he gets the ball. Just take the snap and throw it.
On this replay, he was hitting his 3rd step when he got taken down.
No, he didn't take it. He was under center on that one. He was not in shotgun, right? If you get the ball in a shotgun, you pretty much have take one snap. And it's blocked and out of the end zone, and the Wolverines get a safety of their own. The flag at the line of scrimmage. Are they going to say they're offsides? If it's against Penn Hills, why are they even talking to the Wolverines? You decline the penalty, you take the safety, you get the ball back.
Sounds easy enough.
I think if you're the official, you don't even talk to him.
Right.
Come on, here's the play. Either we can march off a half the distance or we kick. Now, meanwhile, the other question is if it's a false start, that's prior to the snap, it should be a dead ball.
Correct. You are right about that.
Unless there is 2 men in motion or some
legal procedure.
The Wolverines will get the ball with 6:30 to go. Now up by 18.
I don't know how many safeties we've seen all year, but 2 in this game. We might have seen 1 maybe all year.
I don't know that we've seen any this year. No, we did. We did. Denzel Sherrill was tackled in the end zone for a safety at Bethel Park. Again, his first carry at varsity level. We gave him the ball at the 1-yard line. And I'll tell you what, that kid is going to be a player. I've heard varsity as a freshman. Now, do the Indians kick it, or do they onside? Kick it away? Do you onside kick it? You can onside a free kick, can you not?
Can you really?
I believe you can.
Number 82, Mike Flacco will put the ball in.
If you can do that, you guys, set it up as a kickoff. You can tee it and do it as a kickoff. It's your choice. High, short, at the 50. And the Wolverines will return it inside the 40 to the 38-yard line.
No, not a bad idea by Fracco to kick that thing really high and hope for,
A bobble or something.
yeah, maybe one of the guys that aren't used to catching it to bobble that or get a little scared.
See the Woodland Hills ball boy on the Penn Hills side, Taylor Morrow. Say hello to Tyler. He's standing next to Taylor Adams. That's what, I see.
So there's a Taylor and a Tyler down there.
Yeah.
Taylor Adams.
Taylor Adams now out on the field. But when I caught Taylor, I have to say hi to Tyler Morrow. He's my wife's cousin, my kid's cousin. Timbers dragged down from behind by Myles Davis after a pickup of 9. Actually, be pickup of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3.
You said hello to Tyler. I'll say hello to Taylor Adams, one of my better CAD 4 students.
The CAD. Timbers will have the first down and more. Timbers will go for a Woodland Hills touchdown. It's a shame this one turning into a rout, which, it was not up until that blocked field goal. I mean, the Indians had an opportunity to pull within 6 points of the Wolverines before the Wolverines blocked a kick. It would actually turn into a touchdown. The safety. And then the Timbers run. The Wolverines now with a 30-5 lead with 5:41 to go. Now, if you're the Indians, if you can open it up at all, you'll do it now. 5:41 to go, fourth quarter. Woodland Hills 30, Penn Hills 5. You are watching Indians football on Comcast. Back for the Indians, Corey Jones and Brandon Eiffel. The Woodland Hills scoring drive, 2 plays, 39 yards, set up by the blocked punt safety. And in the last 3 minutes, the Wolverines have scored 16 points. They now extend their lead to 30-5. Again, goes back to the play before the blocked field goal. They called Chaz Whitaker out of bounds at the 4-yard line on a touchdown run, and the replay showed he was not. In fact, Jones from his 5-yard line looking for somewhere to go. Hesitates, cuts it back inside, has some room on the outside. Easy to say from the press box. Jones turns it out to the 24-yard line.
You'd hate to look back at one play and say how it changed the game, but that missed call by the official with him stepping out of bounds changed this game.
It certainly did.
Coach once told me you have to be good enough to beat the other team and the officials. So you can't blame everything on the official here.
It's a tough job to be an official, but you know what? The official that made the call was right on top of it. He was right on top of it, and we saw the replay, and clearly he was not.
With the pink tape around the shoes, you would think he wouldn't be able to miss that.
On a white sideline, Whitaker throws, pass complete. Ray Harris at the 34-yard line. They're going to give him 10 yards and a first down.
And that's only Whitaker's second completion in the second half.
First one, the 43-yard pass to Colin Christian. Jones at the 39-yard line loses the football. We're going to call it incomplete. Again, Whitaker with 5 Wolverines in his face jumped up.
He hasn't seen pressure like this.
They'll bring up a second down and 10. Now, in the shotgun here, you can't take a 3-step drop here. You take it 1 step and get rid of it. Especially on this kind of pressure. Chaz sacked back inside the 30 at the, we're going to mark him at the 27-yard line, a loss of 7. Brings up a 4th down for the Indians. Or excuse me, 3rd down for the Indians.
Chaz might have to start getting a little creative back there. Just once he gets the ball, instead of dropping straight back, start rolling out right away. Something to get away from those defenders.
Make them change direction. Whitaker loses the football's a low snap on the shotgun. They drop back to the 21-yard line and a loss of 6. And the punting unit back on. Fracco's kick high. Hits at the 37-yard line, goes out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. We're going to mark him at the 39 with 3:55 to go. And the Wolverines with a 25-point lead. So, the way it appears, the Wolverines will clinch the Big East Conference Championship with a 5-0 conference record. They'll be 8-1 overall. Indians will fall to 4-5 and have a 3-2 conference record. So there's a prediction for you. Who's going to take the last seed in the 4th seed in the Big East? Who do you think is going to win the Big Plum-Kiski matchup?
I'm gonna go with Plum on that one.
I'm going to go with Kiski. Wolverines keep it on the ground, going left side of Sade Jenkins, and Jenkins will lose a yard.
Now, when we saw Kiski this year, it was hard to get a good read on them because it was a really bad field, a rainy night. Plum, we saw them on a rainy night also, but it was a clean field at least.
Right. And the Indians couldn't get out of their own way. For a while.
Yeah.
Moultrie with the tackle on the last play. I think you'll see George Novak run the ball 3 times here. He may even. Has Tompkins ran the ball yet? Yezovic loses the football. And the Indians have it.
Tyree Turner got that one.
Indians with 3:06 to go. I'd like to see the Indians get into the end zone. Just make things look a little more respectable. Indians 5 points in quarter number 3. The Wolverines 16 points in quarter number 4. In the span of 3 minutes, when the Indians were poised to get within 1 score. And the Indians really had the momentum going their way.
They came out on fire in the 3rd quarter. Morford in.
And the pass just too far for Eiffel. But that's what the Indians have been needing to do all game. I mean, I don't understand why you don't see Whitaker going to Eiffel and Christian more. I don't know, maybe because he's got 8 guys in his face by the time he gets to his 3rd step, on a 3-step drop.
If you can't drop back 3 steps in halftime, got to get rid of it quicker than that. Morford did a good job that time.
Clock stops with 3:01 to go.
Phil Morford being yet another one of my football playing students.
Your computer-aided drafting class.
Absolutely. Architectural design, to be specific.
Morford swing pass, Ray Harris. That's going to be a run because it was backwards pass. We'll call it no game.
Morford's pass complete to number 7, Ray Harris, out of the left flat. Hit very quickly by Darrell Smith, loss of a yard on the play. 3rd and 11 for the Indians.
Clock rolling under 2.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. And the Indians will find out Sunday where they will be going next week. Again, my guess is Mountain Lebanon. A lot of folks think they're going to be sent out to Shaler. Morford's pass complete. Ray Harris had it for a first down. Have the Indians keep the offense on the field.
Can't put that one on the quarterback. That was a nice throw.
And the Indians are going to send out the punting unit. Well, the Indians send out the white flag with 2:18 to go.
I'm calling fake here. Nice punt.
Bracco hits at the 35-yard line and naturally takes a Woodland Hills bounce. Wolverines will have it at their own 37. 2:13 to go, fourth quarter. Woodland Hills 30, Penn Hills 5. You are watching Indians football on Comcast. I hate going to Mount Lebanon. Lost 19-7, 25-0, 24-7, 27-6. There's 35. It's much closer with the
Absolutely, yeah. You can see even when Tyree picked up that fumble, he just kind of like he had his head down. Like they have nothing left.
Wolverines with 2:13 to go and a 25-point lead. I think the Indians coaches are looking to get the clean jerseys in.
Number 17, Sean Taylor, in the quarterback.
Aaron Donald with the tackle on the play.
And ball to number 2, Josh Frank.
Josh Frank will lose 3 yards, gets into the game, and they throw him to Aaron Donald. And the Indian starters come out, and then go the Indian subs. The coach is trying to make sure getting at least a lot of the seniors in.
John Patterson, James Davis coming in.
Joseph Mutombo. And that's Kadir Anderson Perry with the tackle. Mitchell Nesby with the carry. And Perry with the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 12. Clock approaching 1 minute and running. And nobody seems really to be in any hurry to run off any plays.
We've had a nice showing of former varsity football players here tonight, too. I ran into TK Kenderson. I think he's gotten larger.
You know, speaking of, I failed to mention this earlier, but I want to mention, send out our best wishes to Levon Robinson, who was injured at Clarion University. He was trying to break up a fight, be a peacemaker, and got stabbed. Levon on the Clarion football team. Nice run by Mitchell Nesby, but a holding call back at the 31-yard line. And that's at the 14-yard penalty. But again, our best to Levon Robinson for a speedy recovery and getting back on the field for the Clarion Eagles. And a clock running with 35 seconds to go. I think with a 3rd down, the Wolverines simply need to take a knee. They should probably come out in victory formation, take the knee, and get out of here.
But they do have the clean shirts in. They might want to get a little more experience.
That's true. Let him run a play. And a toss to Nesby. The ball loose on the field. Still loose. And the Wolverines recover it. They'll lose about 7 yards, and the clock will wind down. And that'll do it. The teams will meet at center ice. Shake hands and say, see you in the playoffs. See you at Hines. Indians need a lot of work. Get a lot of things straightened out here as playoffs approach for next week. Final score is 30-5, but a game really a lot closer than that. The Woodland Hills Wolverines led 14-0 in the first half. 2 big plays in the first half, the difference in the game. The Wolverines, a jump ball towards the corner near the end zone on a 3rd and way long, 3rd and about 19. They launched one towards the end zone. Woodland Hills came up with it at the 3-yard line. Next play, they punched it in for a 7-0 lead. And then Lafayette Pitts on a 54-yard punt return gave the Wolverines a 14-0 lead at halftime. Second half, the Indians come out smoking. Big difference in the game. The Indians' first possession, they get outfield, get a field goal, make it 14-3. The Wolverines take the kickoff at their own 18-yard line, and after a loss of 8 on a reverse and then a sack, the Wolverines punt from their own end zone. The Indians block it. And again, the Indians don't get the bounce there because if it stays in the end zone, they get a touchdown. But it goes out for a safety. The Indians trail 14-5. Indians turn the ball over on downs on what was a questionable call, a questionable spot on a Chris Washington run. Woodland Hills takes over. They go to punt. The kick's blocked. After the Wolverines had a penalty, a couple of sacks, another penalty, and another loss. They punted from deep in their own end zone. The kick was blocked. The Indians had a 1st and goal. The Indians, Chris Washington dropped for a yard, then an incomplete pass. Had Whitaker hit Corey Jones a little bit higher, the ball was thrown basically at his knees. Had he hit him in the numbers, would have been a touchdown. Next play, Chaz Whitaker from the 10 rolls out to his left, eludes the rush, goes into the end zone for an apparent touchdown. Officials rolled him out at the 4-yard line. Saw the replay, they showed up here in the booth. He wasn't out of bounds, folks. It should have been a touchdown, but that's sometimes the calls go against you. Indians line up for a field goal. Kicks blocked, picked up at the 1-yard line, and the Wolverines return it all the way back to the 4-yard line. 2 plays later, they get into the end zone. They extend the lead to 21-5. Indians get the ball, can't do anything, get some sacks and penalties. They kick from their own end zone. The kick's blocked. Woodland Hills gets a safety. They get the ball back on the free kick. They get it at the 38-yard line, and second play later, Dom Timbers a 32-yard run. They extend to make the lead 30-5, and that's how it ends. Keith Banks, any stats of note for this one?
Not anything you really want to hear. Thank you. You have Whitaker here, 4 for 14 for 18 yards. 4 rushes for 15 yards, 1 interception, 1 fumble loss. That's 6 lost fumbles for the year for Chaz Whitaker. As far as rushing, we have Chris Washington, 14 rushes for 36 yards. We have Roberson, not really a good night, 3 rushes, negative 15 yards. Corey Jones leading with catches. He has 2 catches for 18 yards. Defensively, the Indians, not a bad night defensively. They only allowed 104 rushing yards, all of those to Dom Timbers. 39 yards passing allowed. 2 sacks, 3 fumble recoveries. Pretty good night for the defense. They just couldn't hold them off.
Again, you look at the score, see 30-5, and you think this was kind of a blowout. But again, the Indians were there prior to the blocked field goal, which made the score 14-8. The Indians getting almost into the end zone, but sudden turn of events, the Wolverines score 16 points in the span of 3 minutes to really blow this one away. Not sure where the Indians will be next week. That'll be decided Sunday night at the playoff parents by the WPIAL. My guess is either Shaler, Mount Lebanon, or McKeesports. Lord only knows what the WPIAL will come up with. Once again, the final score here from the Wolverina. The Wolverines 30, the Indians 5. Thanks to Bob Godfrey, our producer and cameraman, Jonathan Robinson down on the field, Keith Banks up in the booth for color, and William in the second half helping out up here. I'm Bill Navari. We'll see you next week for the playoffs. Thank you for watching Penn Hills Indians football here on Comcast.